So this
Whoa.
is the next chapter, probably final, of us just checking in a little bit on Red Letter Media and what happened with the
Oh boy,
Star Wars
okay.
Man stuff.
Oh,
I'll try to push
Star
this
Wars
out.
Man.
Star Wars
Yes.
internet.
So this part is just a reminder of chat of what happened, right? This is the original video. This is what happened.
That database changed his birth year in the canon to reflect
The show.
and then people are like, well, his birth year was established in the books, not the Phantom Menace, and the books are not technically canon. And I was like, oh. I mean, there's people starving around the world.
Oh God.
Site error. God damn, they were quick to get on that one, eh? Look at that, boys.
Someone get in there! We have to update it to Leslie Headland's shit lore that she just created and manipulated. Ah!
But then you scroll down.
I didn't just making sure everyone understands. This is the context.
Hey,
That's what happens. It was weird.
The starving people care too, okay? To assume that the starving people don't care about Star Wars?
There are starving people in Africa who are watching Star Wars Theories videos, okay? They're like,
is this?
I care about Kiadi Bundy.
Did you cut this together? Or
No,
is
this is
just
the
taken
original.
from-
This is Red Letter Media's. Which, don't worry, I'll just let the clip play and then I'll give you the update.
To the
So,
shit that
Okay,
got updated.
This is a prior
Biography
chapter.
Was born prior to 132 BBY. Huh? I don't understand. How was he born before 132 BBY? But here they say 93 BBY.
God.
So,
All the cringe is coming back to me.
that happened, right? And Red Letter Media got some criticism from several people, including us on EFAP. We said that was some retarded shit. We love it when they make fun of all kinds of stuff. Big fans of the channel. Me and Rags are big fans of the channel. I think Gary would say he is somewhat as well.
Red Letter Media.
I think Metal is.
I'm a fan. I
Yeah,
subscribe.
I do
I
like
watch
it.
the
I love
videos.
them too. I've been watching them
Yes.
for years. They're
It's
great.
Same.
top tier entertainment, but that was cringe. And someone might be like, "Oh, you're upset because they made fun of your friendo." You'd be like, "It's just weird, man, to say like, why do you care about details in a nerd thing when there's starving children in Africa?" That's a really odd thing for them to say. It doesn't make any sense, and it's unusual. And then, of course, there was the angle of just they didn't seem to understand why people were upset. They thought it was literally as simple as like changing a birth detail in a Wikipedia page. It's like, no, that's not what happened. But you know, whatever. We gave our takes on it. We thought it was bizarre. And if you remember, the video ended, I think, with them saying, if you continue to watch something that you think negative of, then you're essentially encouraging it. You're like supporting it. You shouldn't be doing that with things that you're not enjoying. You should be leaving them in the dust, because otherwise, statistically speaking, Disney will feel you want more of it. Which again was like, wait, what? Like, they cover so much shit that they think is awful. And I'm not talking about best or the worst even necessarily, though that would definitely count. The main citation we gave was Picard. It was like, well, they covered the fuck out of Picard season 1 and 2. Even though, and most people remember if you're watching it, the people's face, the faces they had in their thumbnails had like lasers and blood flowing out of them to signify just how much pain they were having. It was entertaining as hell, and it was just like, I don't understand. Like, why are they telling people to do this, but they're not doing it at all? It's odd, you know. So that happened. We got clipped to hell and back. People very mad at us for criticizing RLM. That happens every time. That's
pointing
okay.
out their hypocrisy.
They never reference the parts where we say we're big fans of them and would promote their channel and work. I think they're fantastic, top notch. Just these parts were really fucking odd. That's all. Star Wars Theory did his response. They didn't really get it. Didn't really understand why they were saying this, and maybe they were misunderstood or something. And so eventually they did a response. They added this into their next video.
Wikipedia changed his birth date, and that got everybody mad. And that, you know what? I'm gonna say something. You're not gonna like it, Jay.
Oh.
The man on the internet, Star Wars man.
Okay, Tales of the Empire is nothing
Star Wars
compared
bad.
to Tales of the Jedi that happened last year. Not even comparable. Grievous stole the show. Vader was clickbaited hard. He literally sat in a throne, a little dinky throne, mind you.
I don't know what his name is. The man that was very upset about that.
Yeah.
That I made fun of.
He really... Oh, sorry, you said very upset about the birthday thing. That's true. But just for reference, Theory really took their criticism, like, chilly as fuck. I was actually kind of surprised. He didn't seem to mind at all.
And I said, Jesus, don't get all bent out of shape out of this. There's starving people in the world to worry about.
You mean that funny joke that Rich laughed at?
It's a joke. I have to apologize to Star Wars man.
Okay.
Because that is his thing. That is Star Wars fans love their details in canon, and I love my details in canon in Star Trek. Not so much anymore. I've kind of like given up on that.
Well, you have to
But
at some
boy,
point.
oh boy,
Why?
Do you though?
I mean, there's giving up and there's like hoping that it gets better, but
If he means
yeah,
because
it's
they'll just
still-
destroy it eventually, it's like, well, I mean, Star Trek had a pretty fucking good run for a long time, you know?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That lore was pretty intact
Yeah.
for a very long time.
The fact that the most recent iteration of it is garbage shouldn't mean that you no longer care about the lore, because by that logic, none of us should give a shit about the Lord of the Rings anymore.
Yeah, like
Or anything.
If what Jay is
Well,
getting
yeah,
at with that
anything.
comment is like you have to be able to detach because someone's going to come along and fuck it eventually, I'd be like, well, that's bleak, I guess. But maybe he's right to some degree.
maybe yeah, separate the good from the bad, and reward the good if it does come out. You know, you want to encourage good behavior. Hold on to
The
the
thing
things that
is,
are good.
We've had examples though of Terminator 1, canon, everyone cares about it. T2, same thing. T3 is like, T4 is like, whoa, this feels a bit strange. T5, you're like, what the fuck, you're fucking with the whole timeline. And then T6 is like, you know what? We're scrapping 3, 4, and 5. And it's like, oh, that's great. And then you watch it, and you're like, oh, what have you done? And so I guess what I'm getting at with that is like, well, I guess you shouldn't care. And it's like, well, but maybe you should, because they're willing to decanonize in certain circumstances. And it's all based on, like, reception, right? They wouldn't have said 3, 4, 5 didn't happen if not for the fact that the fans were not very fucking happy with them being canon, really, you know?
Yeah. Shame works.
It does. Look
I
at
mean,
the
numbers
Acolyte.
work too, and losing money, but shame works. And
I
we
think
need to bring
so.
it back. Absolutely. And it's, I mean, I don't want to get too far ahead, but like it's about consistency of argument. If you are worried about starving kids in Africa, why do videos on bad independent movies of people with no budget just trying to do the best they can? Why care? If you keep talking about them, they'll still keep making B independent movies that are shitty that you can make your videos on.
And
Consistency
so,
of argument.
this was already pretty satisfying for me, because I was just like, well, there's the apology, and you can tell it's because Mike is like, fuck, I'm no different. I know they want to go the angle if it was just a joke. I guess in the sense that it's a comment that evokes humor, as a robot might say. It's like, totally understand, but you were still making a point, and now you still feel that the point is not very fair. Which is like, yeah, that's all people were saying.
much anymore. I've kind of like given up on that.
Well, you have to
But
at some
boy, oh
point.
boy, did it annoy me when they didn't know why 10 Forward was called 10 Forward. They thought it was
That was
named
so
after
bad.
the street that Guinan had her.
But like, just so you understand what Mike is saying, to someone who doesn't know Star Trek, this sounds like a detail that doesn't matter. Like why a bar was called a bar for a base, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, but equally, you'll have those kinds of details in Star Wars for people who aren't as giving a shit. And it's like, yeah, we're all kind of the same. This is why it would be like weird to, as a Star Wars or Star Trek detail fan, make fun of a Warhammer fan or Lord of the Rings fan for getting details wrong. It's just like, no, we're all kind of in the same boat with this. It's just how familiar you are with each of the laws.
Bar in San Francisco. And I thought, no, that's not why it's called 10 Forward. It's because it's on deck 10 in the forward section of the ship.
Yes, pretty
And
self-explanatory.
that annoyed me. So in full acknowledgement, one could have said, why do you got to worry about that, Mike? They're starving children in Africa.
And believe me, we did.
We did.
And so, you know, I publicly apologize to Star Wars Man. I think his name is Star Wars Theory Man.
So, Theory took that really well. He was just like, yeah, no problem, chill. And everything is well in the world. That's all I have to say about that. It's wonderful.
Everybody has their little hypocrisies.
Everyone's got their thing, and some people are super into Star Wars. And I think that's why they're all mad, because not that the show, I don't know, maybe it threw some of the canon and got things wrong, but I think it's the tone of It's like if
what
they,
it's done with the Jedi as a whole.
Yeah, it's like for me the for them it's the Jedi acting like Keystone Cops. They're stupid. They cover things up. They lie. They're awful. They kill people. they steal children.
It's all true, by the way. The acolyte portrays Jedi as fucking incompetent retard psychos. It's not good.
It just portrays the lesbian witch coven as being worse.
Yeah.
Children from lesbian space witches. To me, that's the equivalent of when these Starfleet crew in Strange New Worlds act like idiotic teenagers.
Hi.
So, there you go. That closes that. But there's one thing that did happen in between that I think is now, in retrospect, even funnier. You know when I said we got a few of we got clipped and put onto the old Twitters? We also got put onto a subreddit.
I love being clipped.
The
on Twitter.
RedLetterMedia subreddit. And people were like,
Reddit loves us.
People were like, EFAP disagree with RedLetterMedia or blah blah blah. And then, so I've got a couple of comments here. Now, the best thing about these comments is keep in mind what RedLetterMedia ended up saying. So, first of all, it's the post. Seems every frame of pause is not a fan of RedLetterMedia's advice on not watching movies and shows you don't like. Which again, it was just strange.
Yeah, because this is the Red Letter Media subreddit, so that's like Red Letter Media, the channel, is. I mean, that's what they do.
The channel built
what they do
completely on breaking down obsessively 3 movies they didn't like. They went beyond that too, but let's just
the starts here
3
with
movies they didn't like.
Is there a reason we care about these random people's opinions? It's like, all right, fair enough. Yeah, you don't have to.
I thought you were asking me that about the Redditors.
No, here we go.
That's
The only thing I care about here is them ripping off Every Frame of Painting, which is a great YouTube film dissection channel. You know, Every Frame of Painting, the YouTube channel, isn't the originator of the understanding of the phrase "every frame of painting," right? Like that's the
one I know of.
We have equal claim to screwing with that phrase as they do. Like they don't get to own it.
Oh, they invented it.
Yeah.
Reddit.
But for the record, Every Frame of Painting is an excellent channel on YouTube, by the way. Good stuff. I recommend it. Their video on why Jackie Chan fight scenes are great still pops into my head every time I watch an American action movie, even if it's not an action comedy. And they're also correct. That video is excellent. These whiny grifters essentially stealing the name of a good channel is pathetic. No, we're not.
I wonder what
Every Frame we pause. And then Every Frame of Painting relating to movies because we cover movies, and then Every Frame of Painting because we Every Frame of Pause because we pause the shit out of YouTube videos as well. We pause the fuck out of everything. It's all about details.
Why grifters though?
We call everyone grifters they don't agree with. That's how it works.
I guess I wonder what they think about us that makes them think, oh, there must be grifters because not liking RLM, that's not a grift. That's just not. That just isn't a grift.
It's just insinuating the truth, Rags, that we all have our 4K steelbook copy of Ahsoka and we secretly run off and watch it over and over again.
I love it.
And then you got their name also makes no sense. Every frame a pause, pausing every frame. What does that mean? Why are we pausing every frame?
The mind of the Redditor struggles to comprehend basic language.
We broke them. We broke them with the name of this podcast alone. I think that's impressive. IMO, but you know what? Maybe not. Maybe it's hard to say. What else we got in this wonderful thread? I wonder.
All right.
They have a show making fun of bad things. That's a comment from us about Red Letter Media, that they have a primary show that's all about making fun of bad things. The response,
best
yes.
for the worst.
But they get joy out of dissecting what makes something bad. Just like certain people on the internet watch bad things, so you can make outrage bait video content and get money, which brings them joy.
Oh, wait, that's literally us.
I was about to say, well, so you describe them with what could describe us as well. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah?
We enjoy dissecting bad things, explaining why they're bad, and it's like a job, and it brings us joy.
Yeah.
Okay.
We try to make it entertaining. That's almost part of the job, is to
No, you guys... You're not liking it the wrong way.
Well.
You're not liking it the wrong way.
And then,
just keep that in mind.
Quote, you guys are famous for the memes, which is true. Red Letter Media are very famous for several memes, several fantastic ones, like Consume Product and Wait for Next Product or whatever, and how does it feel to watch everything you love burn? You know those two? Classics. It says, well, now Mike is just suicidal. Like, no, he knows that. He's talked about it. They're aware. They know they've gone viral for all kinds of memes. They're aware. It's fun.
He often is an editor for their videos, and he throws in stuff like that. He is a very active participant in helping to create the memes.
Depending on what circle you're talking about, they've spread the furthest, as do many things, through the form of a meme. But, like, if you want to go further in, yeah, they'll be famous to fans of Red Letter Media for their entertaining outlook on media and stuff. But, you know.
I like that bottom one.
Well, so this is the key. If something brings you joy, watch it. Mike is only suggesting that you shouldn't watch these things that make you angry and bring no other benefit to your life. It's a straightforward, easily understood point, but it seems that's too much for some of the other critics out there. It's just like, what are you talking about? It's not a difficult concept. Plus, they follow their own philosophy. They've been saying this since Transformers 3. All right? To be fair, they did bring up Picard here, which RLM seemed pretty depressed by and yet continue to watch. And then it says, did nobody actually watch the Picard videos? They ended up loving the show in the 3rd season.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
So, what about the one with the season 1 and the season 2?
2 seasons of terrible content that they hated, and it seemed to make them miserable.
We didn't even get to Acolyte season 2, but had we gotten 3 seasons and enjoyed the 3rd one, apparently we'd be just as justified. So, all right.
Okay.
As long as it ends with a good season that we like, then it's all okay.
I was gonna say, that doesn't make much fucking sense at all. But, like,
Picard season 1 and 2 are the Last Jedi and Obi-Wan of Star Trek.
That does not surprise me.
Awful.
Mike is saying,
Freaking
quote,
awful.
don't watch something if it doesn't bring you joy. But they're hearing, don't watch something if it's bad. And then the 2 responses here are, no, I don't think so. They astutely pointed out that Mike watched Picard despite it not bringing him joy. It's a dumb take, and there's no reason to defend Mike on this. And the other one says, incorrect. They're being massively out of touch hypocrites. Picard really did melt their brains. Now, I'm not going as far as... I'm just saying the thing they tell us, you know, general people, anybody who's criticizing the Acolyte to do is to stop, because otherwise you're statistically adding to it, especially if you're not even enjoying it. Like I said, all those boxes are ticked for them with Picard. I just don't understand the difference. Why are they doing that if they don't think it's a good idea? I'd be curious to know what their point of view is on that. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I find their Picard coverage very entertaining, and I would hope that a lot of people, and I think it's fair to assume they did enjoy in chat. You enjoyed everyone's here coverage of the Acolyte in their various forms.
Yeah.
It's what we hope to do, convert it into entertainment.
Also, sorry, bareback.
Mike was saying the tried and tested, don't watch so it doesn't get a season 2 argument, or it doesn't keep going. Vote with your dollars/views, or so I thought that's what he was saying. I think some of the guys commenting on the video had said similar things themselves. RLM for life. This is curious. Yeah, don't watch it so it doesn't get a second season. It's like...
Well, people didn't.
Well, I mean, so first of all, you're absolutely fucking correct. But secondly, could I have not argued their coverage of Picard season 1 led to Picard season 2? Oh my god, they shouldn't have done it. Oh, it's like,
it's Red Letter Media's fault.
Okay, I can't.
Also, how many times have we covered stuff and it's like, by the way, don't fucking watch it because it's really fucking bad.
I mean, it's
and
usually built in to
go watch it.
If we're shitting all over it, we of course don't recommend it. You know, like. I don't think anybody in chat ends up thinking, I gotta watch this awful thing on my own.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, obviously there's going to be people who go watch it because they want to be in the loop and maybe want to comment about it themselves during some coverage or put a comment below, whatever it is.
So,
but for the most part, a lot of people watch you guys, me, us in general, just like, yeah, let's see if this is actually any good. It's like, oh, great to know. Now I can skip that. I can go watch something else instead.
Okay, I can't help myself. The best of the worst is literally talking about basically one-offs and random movies they find that are garbage, and they actually make fun out of the outright poor filmmaking and silliness. Both things I think apply to our coverage of Acolyte. So, you know, still waiting for how this is different.
Yeah, the different, and I'm okay with them. Do best of the worst. Oh, I
absolutely, yeah, go for it. It's fun as fuck.
Big difference is independent filmmakers doing their schlocky stuff, and they're awful, and you're making fun of it. What I mainly criticize, giant corporations,
right?
$180 million budgets, all the fucking resources in the world, and they still make something as bad as those independent makers with $5. I think that does bring me joy.
The
Lots
vast
of joy.
majority of their coverage is of stuff that's like long gone now, right? Like 80s, and a lot of it is like B movies from then. But they do cover some new stuff every once in a while, and I think one could make the argument, wouldn't it be better to hit like multi-million-dollar corporations? But ultimately, I think if they want to even hit, like indie movies and stuff, it's like, all right, I mean, make it fun, try to be constructive, have a good time, whatever. I can't blame them for that. Yeah. So
I love Best of the Worst.
They watched Picard for 1 season. It was on the air for the 1 season. 1 season. Mike even says he does not care for Strange New Worlds and does not want to cover it. I don't think they covered the last couple seasons of Discovery. Don't watch it is quite literally the easiest way to tell companies you don't like it. Companies grow from viewership and dollars. People not watching equals loss of both. People watching but complaining about things like children online still gives companies both. RLM as a whole,
like this is idiot. This is
don't worry, it's all.
Can I point out that a lot of people stopped watching, and Strange New Worlds is a continuing series. Star Trek Discovery went 5 seasons, 5 fucking seasons before getting canceled.
Yeah, nobody fucking even knew it was happening by the time they got to the end. Nobody was watching it at all.
Picard was only supposed to be 3. Yeah. They're making a Section 31. They're doing Star Trek Academy, which is supposed to be Harry Potter in space. And nobody's watching. So why are they still making it? Because it's content. Because they have, they had a lot of money. And now Paramount, who runs this, shut down their TV division and is writing down billions of dollars.
RLM,
so it's a different time.
As a whole, jokes and makes fun of movies. What they do through, though, is actual criticism that is also in a humorous fashion. Go watch The Last Jedi review or Ghostbusters. They did not like those movies because of the stories being told. Nothing to do with the childish garbage online. These man-children complain about lesbian space witches without any actual complaints about the quality of the show. I'm shocked these idiots didn't even realize RLM makes fun of them just as much as they make fun of Disney shills. Grow the fuck up. Laugh my ass off. Now, this is going to shrink, because it does mention how, the more you cover a thing, the more likely it is to succeed. And, they only covered, well, what did it say? They only covered season 1. It's like, don't you think this constitutes significant coverage of something you find miserable?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I easily recommend these. They're entertaining as hell.
Yeah. I didn't watch Picard, but I watched those when they came out. I could share it.
I'm just
everything I know about Picard and Discovery is through these videos.
Dude, the only good thing to come out of it was the videos, and these videos.
Yeah,
exactly.
I have it to thank for that.
What's so odd about this?
If I was going to watch a video about Star Trek, because I don't know Star Trek at all, I would watch Red Letter Media's videos on it, because they seem to actually care about it, which is going to contextualize the opinions that they're giving, and it's going to lead to more humorous moments, because they're going to get very, very angry if it is actually that bad.
There's Star Trek Picard season 2 episode 10 review. You can see the thumbnail. They're wearing like fucking bizarre costumes as if they've just like lost their minds outright. It's funny as shit. But what's interesting to me is that a lot of these comments will be themed in a way that's like, these guys don't even know that RLM are making fun of them. They don't know their backlog. They don't know why they do this, that, and the other thing. And I'm sort of awkwardly sitting here like, man, I've been watching them for so long. I've seen a lot of their videos twice. Like and then simultaneously, you got them saying like, they didn't even cover Picard beyond season 1. I'm sitting here not knowing much at all about Star Trek and being like, no, they did. They were funny as hell. I don't like it's all very confusing as an experience, but here we are. It's and like I said, it's fine.
I publicly apologize to Star Wars Man. I think his name is Star Wars Theory Man.
I watch a lot of their stuff, and I'm a fan of both.
Yeah,
they do have legit criticisms. This is about EFAP and Red Letter Media, by the way. They are very... One sec, it's going to be real quick, I swear. They are very ingrained in the culture war aspect, though, and I usually roll my eyes with this stuff. But their reaction, and more so their fans' reaction, to a light ribbing from Mike has made me rethink their whole deal. This is the thinnest skin I'll ever seen, all because RLM made fun of them when they run a podcast making fun of shows, and more importantly, YouTube videos from people they don't like. I was sure they would be able to take a joke, because a lot of these people for years have talked about how RLM is one of the best, but I guess that only lasts until they make fun of them as well. I thought this comment was fucking weird, because we advocate that they do make fun of us more. We want it. But, like, try to hit us for stuff that makes sense instead of...
Yeah. They didn't have any substantive criticisms about the lesbian space, which is like, come on, man. Like, you didn't watch any of our stuff. You never watched our stuff.
It's so odd because they're saying like you couldn't just take a joke from RLM. It's like RLM apologized. You know, you could say all day
because they realized what the
joke doesn't really work.
Issue
right?
was
It's awkward.
It's like, oh yeah, we do that all the time ourselves. Like, of course, yeah.
It's like this is the thinnest skin you've ever seen. Besides, they didn't make fun of us. They didn't mention EFAP. We were just talking about Star Wars theory, Star Wars man, and we just, on behalf of him, were like, seems a little bit wonky. Seems a little bit out of pocket, is what the kids say, right? Out of pocket.
Well, I mean, he agrees, right? Like,
yeah, well, Mike agreed, yes. I don't know what to do. Like, what is... This comment's so weird. It's like, I'm a little bit disappointed in EFAP for being so thin-skinned on this. Like, it's fine. And it all worked out.
It was funny. It's like one of these...
The whole thing is really weird. It's like, so first of all, Mike agrees. So that's pretty awkward. The whole, like, well, no, when people watch it or talk about it, that makes them succeed. The Acolyte got cancelled despite getting massive amounts of conversation and coverage and videos and stuff, so that's a bit awkward. Like, it's just funny to me. It's just wrong. They're just like incorrect about.
Well, and
like,
then the very
everything.
thing that they're accusing everybody of not shouldn't do, they've done recently with another show they despise. You know what I mean? It's all very confusing. It's like, okay, like it would be funnier if it was sort of like more parody versions, just the equivalent of what they do with like the shill stuff, which again, it's all really funny as well. Said this about South Park. South Park took way more hits on Disney and shills than they do on the reverse. You're like, there's plenty of opportunity, go for it. In fact, make more episodes just generally about the concept, because it's funny as fuck.